Why the new supply is gushing over the narcissist on social media. Welcome to narcfreeformula. My name's Freedom. Thank you for joining me. Hello, lovelies. So let's get straight into this, shall we? First of all, this depends on the stage of the narc cycle that they are in. Obviously, if they are in the idealization phase of the situationship, you know, she's been put on a pedestal. She believes that this is true love, you know, that this is her knight in shining armor. And essentially, I mean, he's lying to her and she believes it, and she's no wiser. So she's posting, you know, stuff on Facebook, social media, whatever, you know, like people do. You know, it's human nature. However, there are some more sinister and kind of tragic reasons, but I'll just go through the first kind of couple of points. So the second point is that it's the nature of social media that we put our kind of best foot forward. Like, no one is ever getting on social media saying, oh, that new boyfriend of mine is turning out to be a right douche. You know, that he was really abusive to me. Like, just no one's saying that stuff on social media. You know, we're putting our best foot forward. So she's showing an idealized version of herself and her relationship with the narcissist, which is kind of indicating that, you know, she's probably still in that idealization stage. However, as things progress, it'll be a little bit different. The reasons behind why she does it are going to be a little bit different. All right, so number 3, this is reputation control. So ever since you either got discarded or you escaped the narcissist, the narc has been in damage control, right? Putting out fires left, right, and center, changing up the narrative. You know, every time you've told the truth, they've had to cover it with a lie. So literally, they're running around all over the show, putting out spot fires, making up stories, trying to, as I said, go into damage control. They're trying to, you know, create this false narrative about what happened, about the relationship, about why you guys broke up. So it's reputation control. He is doing it, and she is subconsciously also doing it. And there's reasons why she's doing it. So the first kind of thing I would say, these are the kind of more sinister reasons. The first thing is that, you know, she's trying to claim him. So he probably hasn't even changed his relationship status from single to it's complicated, right? He certainly hasn't said, you know, whatever, married or engaged or any of those, you know, things. So, and he's probably flirting with other women still. He's probably liking and, you know, flirting with them on social media. So this is her way of publicly, very publicly claiming him and letting everyone know that they are together, that they are a couple, because there's no way that anyone would know otherwise, essentially. The 5th point is that, just remember, on birthdays and special occasions, the narcissist will be going out of their way to embed and imprint themselves into that situation. So it's her birthday, but they want to make it about him, or he wants to make it about him. The narcissist wants to make it about them. So on those particular occasions, you know, the narcissist is always running a whole lot of games. So on some level, they know that you'll probably check. You know, if you're in the first, you know, beginning, whatever, couple of months or whatever, that you'll probably be checking the social media. So they know that you'll be checking up on them on those special occasions, birthdays, whatever. So it's like, it's a win-win for them. They get to mess with your head. They get to look like the good guy, you know, because they bought her a dozen roses and took her out to this beautiful restaurant, you know, and then she puts it all across social media, which then gets him a lot of fuel and supply from all the people saying, oh, you've got yourself a good man, and oh, I wish my man was like that, blah, blah, blah. You know, so it's essentially just win-win-win. And as I said, she's probably not really aware at this stage what's going on. However, point 6 is that she might start to experience a bit of cognitive dissonance. You know, maybe she's starting to realize that, oh, he's not actually what he's saying he is. You know, or the mask has slipped a little bit. So she's essentially brainwashing herself, you know, because in a relationship with a narcissist, there's so much falsity, there's so much brainwashing going on, there's so much manipulation and control. And we get to a point where we actually start to do it to ourselves because the reality is so hard to accept that it's easier to accept and pretend to yourself. Sorry, it's easier to pretend to yourself than to accept the reality. And that is that you're trapped in a awful relationship and you just can't get out safely, you know, or without experiencing too many losses. Essentially, that's the bottom line, is that there comes a point where she too will be having those beginning awful feelings of something's not right here. So he'll be brainwashing her and she will also be brainwashing herself. And in part, one of the ways she does this is by, like I said, putting all the good stuff out there so that everyone goes, oh, you're so lucky. I wish my man was like that. You know, that reaffirms to her that no, she's done a good thing, that, you know, what they have is good. It's not really that bad. He's just mean occasionally. You know, he's just controlling a little bit, and that she can put up with it. All right. Number 6. I'm already on number 6. I am on number 6. So number 7. She's also signaling to you and his other exes that she isn't like you, and that what they have together is real. So you've got to remember, he's been talking about his exes. He's been telling her about how badly they've treated him, about things like, you know, oh, my ex never put photos of me on social media. It was like she was embarrassed of me, right? And so the new supplier is now like, oh my God, you poor little love. Let me put as many photos of you and I together as I can on social media. Not realizing it's all just a game. And the narcissist knows full well that you're going to be seeing those photos of them together and it's going to upset you. And like I said, he's going to get fuel and supply from everyone else thinking he's awesome. I mean, it's just a game. She doesn't know it yet. He does know. And narcs are highly manipulative. But she is definitely signaling to you, right? She's saying, he's with me now and we're happy and I will treat him better than you did because I appreciate what I have with him. Unlike you, you know, you were just too spoiled and you just wanted too much and you never saw what a good man he could be, you know. And like the narcissist be telling her everything she wants to hear. It's so easy to lie to yourself when the people around you are lying to you as well. Okay? And the thing is, she's telling all of her friends all the good stuff. You know, all that stuff she's posting on media, it's creating this bubble where everyone thinks he's really nice because that's all she's talking about. She's not talking about that other stuff because she doesn't want to be like you. She doesn't want to be complaining about him. She doesn't want to be saying nasty things about him. You know, because he's told her over and over, that's what you did and you're a bitch and you're cruel and you're this and that. So she doesn't want to be associated with that kind of behaviour. So she overlooks all of his bad behaviour, or she doesn't focus on it, you know. So, just bear with me, darlings, I've got some notes. Yeah, so the narc's got her so brainwashed and head fucked that she probably doesn't even know why she's trying to show the world that they've got a good thing. But she's trying to prove it to herself first and foremost. Then to him, you know, because he also, you've got to remember, narcissists, you know, play games with their energy. So they, for example, you know, they let you get close to them and they push you away when you don't act the way they want. You know, they pull back their energy. They don't answer their phones. You know, they let you know in subtle ways that you haven't been behaving the way they want. So they're training, he's training her, essentially. So by her constantly kind of talking about him and saying how, he's a god amongst men and the love of her life, and, I don't know, men like this are hard to find, and blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff is appealing to his ego. And when she does it, he will be rewarding her for her good behavior. And so the more she does it, the more he rewards her. So it becomes one of those little self-perpetuating cycles. And the other thing is, you've got to remember, if they started as an affair, for example, she's got a lot riding on this, especially if she walked away from a good man, and even worse, left a family behind for the narcissist. She's got to show the world that they are onto a good thing, that what they have is real, that it was worth all the heartache, it was worth all the destruction. It was worth destroying a marriage and a family over, And once again, the narcissist will also be rewarding her for talking him up. It's such a vicious cycle. The whole thing is vicious, and the narcissist will be telling her continually, that you're obsessed with him. So she's, like I said, she's signaling to you, she's signaling to these other women as well. It's not just you she's worried about. She's worried about all these other women, that he's liking pictures of and talking to and flirting with. She's worried because she knows that, on a subconscious level, she knows there's something, that he, that there's something she needs to pay attention to, like his ways, his sneaky ways, his flirty ways. Like, she knows, especially if they started as an affair, she knows if he cheated with her, he can cheat on her. So now all of a sudden she's looking at everyone and she's seeing them all as threats, and like I said, and you're, as the ex, probably the biggest threat. It's a strange one with you because, she's competing with you, right? She's competing against you. So when I say she's competing with you, she's trying to prove that she's not like you, that she's a better woman than you. She's more loyal. She'll stick it out with him through thick or thin. You just gave up too easily. You're just not loyal like he and her. They're ride and die. You were just like, you just gave up. She wants to prove that she's not like that. But then she's also really deeply threatened because she can sense, she knows, she can feel the way he's acting around you, the way he's behaving, that he's still got, weird energy. How he, for one minute he's saying nasty things about you, then he's obsessing about you, and he talks about you so much, and she probably gets freaking sick of hearing your name. So she's competing with and against you. And trying to prove that, she'll show him the respect that he deserves. She will be the one that will treat him right. This whole thing would be absolutely exhausting, I got to tell you. And the worst thing is if he doesn't return the favour, if he's actually hiding the new supply. That'll be my next video after this one. I'll link it in once it's done. Alright, lovelies, I hope that helped you understand why the new supply gushes over the narcissist on social media. Just remember, none of it is what it appears to be. It's all an illusion. It's all performance art. Okay? None of it is real. She just doesn't know it yet. Alright, lovelies, thanks for watching. Bye.